Wait, chat, hey, one of you guys want to hear the most cancer story ever that made... Okay, let me tell you guys a story. About my Greek math teacher. My Greek math teacher that made me rethink life. Let me tell you guys a story. I might change one of your lives right now. When I was... How old? I think I was in grade 9. And back then, I was in an enriched math class. So think of it like a higher level math class, okay? So what happens is, I have this teacher, right? And I was used to being the guy that would ace everything. I would always never study, but I would get 80s to 90s in all my classes, right? Literal, like, insane student. So what happens is that at one point we write a test, and it was a test about algebra. Okay, an algebra test. So I write the test, and I end the test, and I feel really good about it, right? I'm like, yo, like, I did really well on that test. I'm chilling. A few days later, I get my test back. And I was always the kind of guy where it's like, whenever I would, like, write a test, I would always, like, feel anxiety. Whenever I would, like, be about to receive a test back, I would feel anxiety. Like, I would always get very anxious, So then a few days later, I get my test back. And she hands it out by grades. So she's like, everyone that got above a 90, and then she gives them their tests. Everyone that got above an 80 gives them their tests. Everyone that got above a 70 gives them their tests. Everyone that got above a 60 gives them their tests. And then I sit there, and I still haven't received my tests yet. And I'm like, is she trolling? Did she forget me? Like, what is this? So then she hands me my test back, and I got a 55. I'll never forget. 55. And I said, how is this possible? And I start flipping through the test. I'm like, okay, I made mistakes, but like, why is it a 55? Where is that level of mistakes where it's a 55? It doesn't make sense, right? And then I turn over the test on the complete back. And on literally the complete back, like imagine it's a test like this. On literally the back of the page, like here, there were 3 little lines. And those 3 little lines were worth 30% of the test. And I never flipped it all the way to the back, so I never saw. So I saw that, right? And I walk up to my teacher after class and I say, listen, I understand that I failed, and I understand that it's my fault that I missed it. But at the end of the day, it's not because I didn't understand the material. It's because I literally didn't see these 3 questions that were 30%. So is there any chance that I could, like, sit here and write 3 other algebra questions similar to those, and then I could have my grade slightly increased to at least a passing grade if I do well, right? And then she looks at me and she says, that's a good suggestion. And I'm like, okay, nice. And then she tells me, but when you're playing soccer and you miss a goal, you don't ask the goalie for a re-kick. So the answer's no. And I sat there, I was like, is she fucking trolling? And in that moment, I was like, what a fucking bitch this woman is. But what happened is, right, that after that experience, I never felt test anxiety again. Because I told myself, I said, once it's done, it's done. I can't change it. So what's the use in feeling anxious and worrying about something that already happened? So then because of that, I never felt anxiety ever again after that.